It's time for another daily cinephile vlog. But this day we're gonna go on the road. We're gonna be driving on the road. I won't be driving. Gonna be on the road, gonna take a drive on Highway 2. The carrots have been sprouting. I don't really have much for onions yet. They're kind of coming up here and there. You can see little sprouts. Not seeing anything of the lettuce, so. The lettuce might be kind of mixed in there though. This isn't a very big box and I wasn't very careful with the seeds. Got some better jalapeno plants here from my mom. Mostly I've been watering them all through June, but we finally got some rain just a few days ago. Good way to start July. Enjoying his car ride. He lost a lot of his hair because we had to basically cut it all off for the summer. So he looks a lot different, but he'll be growing back, and then by the time fall is here, he'll be his fluffy self again. He left his tail poofy though, so really poofy. Also, I'm already on Highway 2 right now, but I wasn't so interested in filming the portion between Duluth and Saginaw. We're actually going to turn on the intersection here where they're doing some road work, where they're actually putting in a roundabout to try to make that intersection a little safer. And we're going to go from there to Floodwood. And at the intersection of Highway 2 and 194, almost called it I-94 there, we're technically in Saginaw. The Saginaw Grand Lake Station, but I've been told it's called the Saginaw Union Station. So this intersection has always been a little dangerous. That's why they're adding the roundabout to really slow down traffic for the people emerging from 194 or from this way on Highway 2, going, of course, the speed limit. And when I say that, I mean 15 over the speed limit. This section here is called Crossroads. I was saying that sign that said K Wood, so I was saying Crosswood. And actually, I believe that gas station used to be called Crossroads. I thought it was straight up just called that. Then they changed it to K Wood. I'm a big fan of the previous name. Now we are crossing the St. Louis River, which does go all the way to Duluth, as well as finding its way to Floodwood. Everything is connected. The weirdest thing was when we were in Washington just a month ago, they actually had Highway 2 out there. Made enough sense because this does go all across the northern portion of the U.S. It goes all the way from, actually I found the town name, Everett, Washington. And it goes all the way to Michigan. It stops because of Canada, but then it starts again in New York. Goes all the way to Maine. And here's the turn for the even smaller than Floodwood town of Brookston. The only time you'll probably ever find yourself in Brookston would be for their big 4th of July bash. That's usually, a lot of people go to that from around our area, this whole area. So that's coming up. There's a Christmas tree farm, which we've never gotten a live tree for Christmas. Country Corner. A go-to joint for the people in the Alborn area if they don't want to go to, what are there like 4 total, I would say. There's Alborn Tavern, there's Clip Joint. If you want to head to Brookston, there's, and I don't know if it's still called the Stony Brook or the Brook or whatever it's called now, but that's what I've always referred to it as. And then you got Country Corner, the only one that's on like a major highway like this. Arrowhead Town Hall. A lot of weddings there. I've gone to a lot of weddings there. The Retreat Golf Course. Now, as a white man approaching his 30s, I believe golf is something that I need to, in obligation type of sense, start getting into. I'm too afraid to start because I don't want to do it with some of my friends who do golf and just be awful at it. One of my friends made a suggestion of just doing one golf lesson, taking it from there, just figuring out how to hit properly, and then I'm fine. They seem very confident. I, not so much. But that is something I'd like to try. I think I would enjoy it to an extent. It's one of those things that I think come with once you get older. There's like certain things that, I mean, obviously when you were a kid you don't like, but then you get older and you're like, I can kind of see why I enjoy this now. Even throughout my 20s, I always thought something like golf was boring. It's like, I don't understand why anyone would want to do that. But now approaching my 30s, I'm like, I might understand it a little more. I might like the idea of just hitting and then taking some time to just relax, you know? One of the last stops you see before you get to Floodwood is the world famous lace. So obviously the letters have slowly fallen off as the years have gone by. It used to be Bud's Place, but every few years another letter would fall off. So for a while it was Ud's Place, and then it was D's Place, and then eventually it just said Place, and now it's been Lace for a while. So like the past 2 years I think it's been Lace, and I've been driving by really hoping that it would just say Ace, and it fell completely in order. There wasn't one of the back letters falling off. They're all one by one been going in order. That truck stop served food as well, and I do actually remember going there as a kid, but it didn't stay open for much longer into my childhood. It probably closed around very early 2000s, but actually my parents went there. And if you talk to anybody my age who lived in Floodwood, whose parents lived in Floodwood, more than likely they spent some time or at least even worked at that Bud's Place. And then you come into Floodwood. And always telling people about living in Floodwood, the town of 500 people, a population that I actually think grew in 2010 by about 10 people or something. Let's see if they have the updated amount of people that live in Floodwood after the 2020 census. Yeah, 517. They painted the top of the water tower from red to white, and it's always bugged me. I think it looks not as great now. But here's the city. So telling people that we live here, you know, we say we live in Duluth. We're originally from Floodwood. And when we tell people that, they don't quite know where it is. But then we ask, have you ever gone from Duluth to Grand Rapids? And they say yes. Like, well, then you have been to Floodwood. You drove right through it, and it's a blink, and you'll miss it town. And actually, we're getting off of Highway 2 now. So for a road that pretty much spans the entire U.S., it's pretty cool that it actually goes through our small town. Makes you just wonder, you're just a little cog in the giant roadway of this machine called the U.S. highway system. Here's Main Street. It's going to be a party here in just less than a week for Catfish Days. One of the best things to do, though, is that when you say you're from Floodwood and you went to high school, you always got to compare with everybody else about how small their graduating class was. Because what was the big thing you said? It was like, you've talked to people where they're like, oh yeah, I graduated with 200. Yeah, I had a small class. I graduated with about 100 or 200 people. Graduating with 100 or 200 people, you probably do kind of know everybody in a sense. Not too well, but you probably know them. You might know their names, you know their faces for sure. And then we step up to the plate and we're like, yeah, we graduated with 20 or less. 17. And there's the school actually right there. It's the school that you and me went to. pretty wild. But that was the trip. I'm not gonna do the Highway 73 video. But that will do it for today. Maybe we'll do some more highway drives in the future.